So our code is working where we've got this space bar key being pressed down here. We're checking if that's true, and if so, and if it's, remember, if the square is sat on the floor Y line, then we do this jump up by 50. I just want to show you how important it is to have, these variables at the beginning. So say if this were to change, not to 3. Let me try. Let me do 350, for example, and then run it. You'll see that all of the code will then kind of like work. Whereas if I'd have had to type, in every single time I'm using floor Y, go in, change it. Okay, that's 350. Yeah, that's 350. That's 350. You can imagine that you might make some mistakes. That's why it's really, really valuable to do that. The next thing I want to do is I want to add in a score. So I'm going to initialize the score to being 0. And what I want to say is that you're going to increase the score every time the pink square reaches the end of kind of each rotation, as it were. And that's here. When the square reaches the edge, it cycles back around. So I can just add in here an increment to the score. So I can say score plus equals 1. And that is then each time that passes through there, it is going to increase the score by 1. But we want some way to show this to the user, kind of what their score is. And what we're going to do is we're going to add in some text here to display the score. And we would use the text function. So let me just have a look at the p5.js reference. And it says here, so it's text is going to draw text to the canvas. The first parameter is str, which is a string, is the text to be drawn. The second and third parameters, x and y, set the coordinates of the text bottom left corner. Okay, so we need 3 parameters. So we need, first of all, we need the score, and then we need to say where on the canvas it's going to be x and y. So let's just put 50 and 50 in, and let's just see if anything is a bit. Okay, so we've got 0 there. Notice that it's in pink, and hopefully it's going to increase now. Good, it does. So it does increase. That works. I think it's going to be in pink because I've got this fill here that's going to fill the rectangle, but remember it runs to the bottom of this code and then goes back up to the top again, but I haven't told the program to change the fill before I do the line, so it will carry on with that fill. So I want to add in a fill up here. Let's just make it black to begin with. That did not work. Let me just check. Why did that not work? Fill should be 0, and then the score is up there. Oh, that's because you might have spotted my mistake there. I added the fill in after the text to be drawn and before the line. So maybe if I'd have added a comment here to draw the ground level line, then maybe I wouldn't have made that mistake. Let's check. Okay, great. So there we are. Now we've got the score being displayed, and it should increase by 1 each time. I can make it a little bit better. If I want to add some actual text, some actual words, we would wrap that inside quotes, either single or double. I always prefer the double quotes. So I could say something like this, add the score. So the word score, with a colon, a little space, plus whatever the score variable's value is going to be here. Let's run that. Okay, great. I still think it's probably a little bit too far over. There we are. That's probably a little bit better there. So we've now got this text displaying the score for the user on the screen, and you should see that it's kind of going up each time that the square reaches the end of the width here. But let's just go back and see if there's anything else that we can do from the p5.js references. Let's see. So we've got things like text can be styled a few ways. We can call the fill function, which we've just done, to fill color, stroke weight, text outline, text size, text fonts. There's lots of other things that we could use. to manipulate the text here. You can see lots of examples like stroke weight and the text. So let's just have a quick play around with some of those. Let's try this. Let's try text. What was it? Text size, all lowercase. Let's try 50 and see what that does. Oh no. It seems that we've got text size. It doesn't like text size. There, 100. I wonder why that is. Oh, this is telling me. So this error code is quite helpful. It seems you've accidentally written text size. Notice the lowercase s instead of text size with a capital S. And that's right, I did do that. Oh, that is quite big. But that's interesting because in here, oh, it does have the capital S. I just didn't read it properly. That's my mistake. So 50 maybe is too big. Let's try 20. Okay, that's good. That's looking a little bit better. Are there any other things that we could have a look for? So this is about kind of how you change the different colours. No, I don't think there's anything else. Maybe we could, you can have a play around with adding in fonts and text align, making it in the centre and things like that. But I think for now this is good enough to just have a score. I might even move that along a little bit. There we are. That looks slightly better, filling out just the top left there.